Alright, so I wanted to show you my Christmas books. I always seem to do this, where I don't do any journaling for months and months. And then when Christmas time comes around, when December daily comes around, that's when I get energized, because that's when the semester ends. That's when I have a little bit more time. And I always wish that I will go back and populate the books that I started. I only got to March and I stopped because that's when the pandemic hit and I just was not motivated anymore. I did go and make more books and I want to show you those. Yeah, so I have my April book and I have images that I printed out, but I didn't actually do anything with them. I just didn't have the time, and when I had the time I didn't have the motivation. So I always say to myself, I'm going to go back and populate these, you know, when I have more time. But all I end up doing is making more than one December book. So like the May book have the pictures. At least I have pictures for these, and then I stopped printing out the pictures. You know. So you can see a lot of similar things. I am at home writing, or there I am going to the supermarket with my mask on. You know, I did a lot of thrifting, and that's one thing that I did do. I did a lot of gardening, a lot of thrifting, just not a lot of journaling. So I'm glad I have these books. I just really, I don't want to promise that I will get them done before the end of the year, but you know, slowly. This one I had done a lot of collaging in. It was a place to put scraps, if you remember, but I haven't actually turned it into, you know, a journal. I just know that it's a great look for August. And yeah, I chose this pack because this has a lot of whimsical, you know, carousel imagery. Even though I don't know what that has to do with September, but I ended up just doing that. Then I thought I'd do this for October, but didn't really like it, so I think I'll make a different book for October. I might use this one, you know, since it has darker tones in it. I'm not sure yet. I was gonna make this Christmassy, but then I looked in my stash and I saw that I had this cover that used to be the cover of an album, and I thought, yeah, this definitely is Christmas. But November is this one where I've used this cover before. I've actually made a journal and I decided to change things because the paper inside was too flimsy, so I kept like the sturdier cardstock, and I had these images from around the country. You know, we have the beautiful changing of the leaves for fall and snow, you know. So I have a sewing machine now, so I sewed these together. Then yeah, so I mean, I'm just trying, you know. I've just been using the sewing machine to actually sew bed linen, but I knew I got it really to do crafts, so I've been trying to experiment with this. So all that's left for this book is to just sew it in. And then I saw this at a thrift store, and I'm gonna make it into a recipe book. I tore out this part. It was a big accordion kind of pocket, and I made it so that I could add pages and pockets to it. So this became a pocket, and this is a pocket. And so I have, where do I have that? I also got this when I was at the thrift store, and I thought, oh, these could work, because the way that I realized that recipe books work is that it's a place where you really need to have a bunch of pockets more than it is a place to write, because most of the time you're cutting out recipes rather than you're just writing them in the actual book. You'll write them on a scrap of paper, or you might have a scrap of paper and then you just put them in there. So I'm gonna work on this, finish this up, add some pages to it. Of course, I'm going to put some fabric on the inside, and I'm going to use some book binding tape. So yeah, that's what I have been up to basically. So I have all these books that I want to work on, but as you know, I've also been writing and I'm working on a novel. As many of you know, that my book came out in November, and I can't believe I'm holding a physical copy of my collection of short stories published by People Tree Press in the UK. It will be available here in the States through Amazon in January, but you can also buy it directly from the press right now. So I have been focusing on getting my novel further along, because you know that's something that there has been some interest with that, and I really want to jump on that as well. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. It's just seeing your name in print and thinking about all the hard work. And yes, this was a painting that I did, and I'm glad that they decided to use it on the cover. Alright, so let me just show you my Christmas book. So like I said, this was an album. I put some wood inside here. It was rounded, and I didn't like the rounded shape because I wanted to be able to, treat it like a normal book when I'm working in it. So yeah, it has a sturdier spine now. This, I cut out a lot of different Christmassy scenes from this book that I got called Christmas in America. Some of them ended up being pages in the book, and some that didn't make pages, I made sure to preserve the images. Of course, I have, so I can catch up on my December daily. I have the numbers from a paper pack that I've used in the past. So it's gonna be pretty traditional. I wanted to do something new this year, but I just decided to work with what I had. Of course, tea-dyed paper. And so that's basically it. Tea-dyed paper, images from that book, pockets, and the paper pack, that Christmassy paper pack. So I'm gonna do just a lot of collaging, and I have some of these here just so that it's easy access. I also have, as you know, took out some from the stash that I'm gonna use, you know. So, and of course I keep a box with my washi tape, smaller scraps, you know, little cloth, stocking. So this will be on the desk while I'm working as well. So this is where I got the, because I've kept Christmas stuff in this container for a while, so every year, this is like the second year since I've had this. I mean, before I haven't had them for a long, well, I had, when I was living in Louisiana, I would keep a Christmas box that would, you know, be something that I had from year to year. But then when I kept moving because of my job, finishing the degree and so on, so I would always have to disband everything, you know, give away, sell. And for now that I have moved to Atlanta for a more long-term job, I can keep my items, you know, from year to year, because I know I'm not going to use everything in here. But it's always good to, when you get these deals, you can keep them and use them, and you don't have to go out and get new Christmas stuff, right? So of course the bigger ones, because this book can take pockets with these. So it's not truly junky, but it's like I'm using a lot more of my items. And of course I keep the rest of the dates here. And this is what I was going to use, but then it was too small. But I realized I want to use it for a cookbook, because I had these from several Christmases ago. I kept these as scraps from that Christmas, and I changed out some stuff that was in here, but same kind of format of using that book with the images, you know. But this one has some Pillsbury recipes, and I'm going to add some special Christmas things in here as well. This one has 2 pockets. Yeah, so I decided, well, I'm glad, because I thought how cute I made this, and I said next year I'm gonna use this, and I will, but just not as the main Christmas book. So that's what I wanted to show you today. I will come back with a process video showing you how I do the first week in December. I don't know if I'll do daily, I can't promise that, but I definitely will show you progress with my December daily. the thing is that I didn't enjoy any of that. I did not enjoy any of the Christmassy stuff, and I don't know if it's because I haven't journaled in a while. But usually, like I said, when it comes to this time of the year, when the semester is over, I'm pretty fired up. I'm very much in the Christmas mood. Maybe it's because 2020 has been so strange, but didn't feel connected to it. I want to do things differently, and I don't know that I want it to be like super holiday for December until the actual holiday. You know what I mean? So I pulled out the smaller ones because I realized that when I had stopped journaling for a while when I moved to Utah in 2018, what happened was that I could do smaller. That was still Christmassy. That was when I started, was December. As I said, that seems to be a trend. And I was okay with all the Christmas stuff, but I had scaled it down and it felt less overwhelming because I realized in the fact that I have those books made that I'm gonna have to fill them up, and I keep putting it off and it feels daunting. And I thought, well, it was said that I have to make the books big. Maybe I can do one giant book for the months that I've missed so that I don't feel beholden to try and scramble and figure it out what I did on every single day. Because maybe I did nothing. Maybe it was during a break and I just watched TV and, you know, wallowed a little bit. So that's part of it. So I'm glad that I made these with a lot of scraps over there. Some of these I was making as a demonstration. Some of these I made with leftover bits. You know, so I have these small ones made with scraps. You know, but these are too small. I'll use these for other things, I think. But, you know, I thought about that because, you know, this looks kind of Christmassy but not overwhelmingly so. And I don't want the ephemera to be too traditionally Christmassy because I'm finding that I'm not inspired by that this time. And, you know, these were made with old canvas bag and, you know, leftover bits. And of course I had made this as a recipe book that was for me because I made recipe books for the shop. But, and then, you know, I'm making one now because I got the shell at a thrift store. So I have these. I mean, I decided too that when I found this at the thrift store that I would, you know, use it this way. They put it next to the stove or in the kitchen somewhere that I can write things down and use them that way, or even cut them out, because I'm finding that sometimes I don't have follow through when it comes to recipe books. I still find myself going online and looking at a demonstration, you know, as well. And then of course I made this fairy tale one that you saw a video for that, and this travel one, which of course not much traveling this year, so didn't use, you know. And this whimsical one I don't think I'll use for Christmas, even though I'm not trying to be too Christmassy. It just doesn't feel right either for that. Maybe it will be something that when I recap 2020 I could use in the spring months, because I stopped, as you know, I stopped in March. So I have some fat January, February and March books, and that's basically where I stopped because then the pandemic hit and I just didn't have any motivation. So these are here for that. And then these, you know, have some leftovers, you know, very spring-like images from old books and tea-dyed paper that might also be in that lineup if I decide to go small. And this one has more from reds and spring as well, so not sure about that. This one is definitely autumn like, so this, if I'm gonna use it small, would go for November. Yeah. I don't know yet, folks. Just showing you my options. You know, maybe you have ideas of what I could do to get out of a rut. And this one also has like images from children's books, you know, from a gardening book, that I feel like these are for those months where things are in bloom, you know. And did I do this one? Also this. The thing is that I know that when I try to go small in 2017, I kind of switched things up, and in November I did small and didn't really love it for December. So I guess, you know, things change. I might be able to go a little bit bigger because I have some also one signatured books. So that's what I was saying. With these are a little bit bigger, and you saw me make the cover of these for a video. And you know, these have pink avocado skin dyed paper. This might work for Christmas too, without making it super Christmassy, you know, because I think I'm not motivated by those anymore. Maybe by next year I'll be back to doing that. So these are a little bit bigger, as you can see. These are a little bit bigger. These are, you know, definitely full envelopes, cut into or folded into, and use fabric on the cover and then one signature inside. Yeah, this one has some of the fairy tale elements as well, but it's very hodgepodge. I might be able to use this one too. Yeah, I feel like this size is better for me because I went small, as you know, that, as I said, in 2017 for that 1 month. Well, second half of that 1 month actually, because at that time I was just getting into traveler's notebooks, you know. But I don't think I enjoy doing like a full journal spread in the super small traveler's notebook standard size. Yeah. So we'll see about this one. This one I want to go back and put in some more tea-dyed paper because it's kind of stiff with the cardstock. But this also has lots of different kind of paper in it. It's just a collection of papers, you know. And what I don't like is when I have these already stiff papers and then I try to do any kind of journaling in it, and because I'm adding layers, you know, it gets even more, you know, more difficult to close it, and I just don't like that. So these are neutral enough that I could do whatever with them, and I like that. I think making something so Christmassy was just overkill for me, especially since, as I said, I'm not feeling as Christmassy this year. But I want to go back and put some tea-dyed paper in between these. That's where I am with that, and I will update you on what I'll do next. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Walk good.